Okay. Good evening, USA, Canada, International, Long Island, aka Strong Island, plus the five spots of Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, and Queens. This is your man G Money Stacks, aka the Gregonator, aka Misunderstood Lonely Nomad, and of course, also the most YouTuber, not to mention, not to mention, rookie podcaster, of course, unstoppable independent podcaster, and of course, um, representing representing Laurelton, Queens, New York, of course. Um, and you're rocking and hanging with the 88th episode of Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast review show. I do apologize for the delay of the episode recording. I had some stuff come up at the last minute, but I'm not going to get into what the issue was. But anyway, um, this is the show where we do reviews on rappers, singers, of course TV shows, your favorite TV shows, your movies. Of course, we review gameplays of video games that previously came out and the upcoming games that's coming out, as well as reviewing podcast shows. So in today's episode, we're gonna be reviewing Mos Def. We're gonna be reviewing Keith Murray, and we got some music Kool-Aid stuff to get into as far as hip hop history, and of course some upcoming video games in the video game chamber segment. And of course, let me remind you, if you are new to the channel and you missed any previous episodes whatsoever, um, don't forget to grab that subscribe button on the Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast YouTube channel, and tap that noni bell so you can be reminded when the show goes in the air via live stream. Leave a like and a comment along with the episodes and topics, and of course, more video content, upcoming episodes and previous episodes whatsoever. And I'll handle the rest um, at the end of the show. Now, live and direct from StreamYard and along with YouTube and alongside of myself is the Instagram live feed of the podcast show page of Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast. Make sure you follow that page along with the other podcast show pages, as well as Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks Podcast. Although the username is Excellent Fun Vibrant Podcast, but I added Talks to it. I didn't have room to put Talks on there, but it's still the same sports show. So you know what I'm saying. And of course, you can also follow my other podcast show page, which is um I'll get to that at the end of I'll get to that at the end of the show. So don't you worry about that one right there. Okay, first and foremost, a little mental health check-in. I am mentally, physically, and spiritually well. For the most part, I am already feeling better, of course, from recent um, fainting, the fainting and passing out of myself, falling on my left shoulder. My left shoulder's getting a little better and stuff. It may not be the same, but I try not to do too much so I don't get a hammy injury. You know what I'm saying? It's short for hamstring for those of you who may not know. But anyway, let's get but anyway, mentally, physically, and spiritually, I am doing all right. And let's get into our first review, which is our first review of a music artist that we all know from all the years is Keith Murray. And let's get into the music Kool-Aid segment. Of course, get ready to get your glasses and your glasses, your water, your juices, mimosas, and all that other stuff, and take a sip of this music Kool-Aid. All right, let's get into it. All right, Keith Murray is the first thing. All right, let's get into it. So, of course, Keith Omar Murray, born May 29th, 1974, is an American rapper from New York. Who knew he was from New I didn't know he was from New York. Oh yeah, because of the Central Islip. Okay. Murray grew up on Carlton Avenue in Central Islip, which is located in the South Shore of Long Island in Suffolk County. Murray was a known member of a local rap collective in Long Island called Legion of Doom, which included fellow rappers 50 Grand, Ron J, and Kel Vicious. Murray is more famously known for being a member of the hip hop trio The Def Squad, which includes fellow rappers Redman and fellow Long Island native Eric Sermon from EPND, previously the co founder of the legendary hip hop group EPND from neighboring town Brentwood. Um, Murray debuted his spaced out complex multi-syllable rhyming style on Eric Sermon's ruggedly produced song Hostile off his first solo album, No Pressure, which was released in 1993 and was Sermon's um, first project since splitting with former rhyming partner Parrish Smith. In 1994, Jive Records released Murray's debut single, "The Most Beautifulest Thing in This World," which was quickly followed up by his debut album of the same name, released to both critical acclaim and commercial success. Along with his solo work, uh, Murray is known for his association with the Def Squad, with whom he released an album, El Nino, in 1998. And we go to his music careers. From 1990 to 1995, early years, Murray initially got his start in the music industry under the name MC Do Damage, but later decided to just go by his birth name. In 1994, he was introduced to Eric Sermon of EPMD by his friend K Solo. Sermon included Murray on his album No Pressure on the single Hostile, with critics praising Murray's lyrical ability. His appearance on Hostile led to Murray being signed to Jive Records, and work began on his first album. Murray's debut single, The Most Beautifulest Thing in This World, was released in 1994 and was a hit. The song was produced by Eric Sermon, and peaked at number 50 on the Billboard 200 and number 3 on the Hot Rap Singles charts. Murray's debut album, The Most Beautifulest Thing in This World, was named after the single and released in 1994 to widespread critical acclaim and commercial success. Um, yes, being certified gold by the Recording Industry Association of America in August 1995. The album was also given 4 mics by The Source. Murray continued to enjoy a high media profile by appearing on a Coca Cola advertisement and as a featured guest on Mary J. Blige's Be Happy, Total's Can't You See, R. Kelly's Home Alone, and both versions of LL Cool J's I Shot Ya. However, his appearances of both versions of I Shot Ya led to brief friction with rapper Tupac Shakur, who believed that the song was a diss towards him being shot and robbed at Quad Recording Studios. Regarding the timing, title, and lyrical content, damn, I can't say that's true, but yeah, I don't know about all that. But anyway, sometime in the following year, Tupac Shakur approached Keith Murray at the California House of Blues, wanting to know if the record was a diss to him. Upon questioning, Murray made it clear that the record was not about Shakur peacefully resolving the situation. Murray has continued to publicly address this in several interviews over the following years. From 1996 to 1998, Def Squad. Murray's second album, Enigma, was released on November 26, 1996 on Jive. Once again, to critical acclaim, the album peaked at number 39 on the US Billboard 200 and reached number 6 on the R&B albums charts. Murray also continued to work with other artists, appearing on tracks by Busta Rhymes, UGK, Redman, and Jamal. In 1998, Murray and the Def Squad debut album El Nino, which peaked at number 2 on the Billboard 200 and was certified gold by the RIAA. Murray's third solo album, Is a Beautiful Thing, was released in 1998 while Murray was incarcerated for assault. From 2001 to the present, he's Keith Murray and released from Def Jam. After Murray was released from prison, he signed with Def Jam, who released He's Keith Murray in 2003, once again to critical and commercial success. The album contained the single Yeah, Yeah, You Know It, and featured guest appearances from Busta Rhymes, Redman, and Jamie Foxx, among others. The same year, Murray was featured as a playable character in the video game Def Jam Vendetta. Despite the success and acclaim of his first album on Def Jam, after this, Murray was dropped from the label just one day after its release, um, after being accused of choking two label employees. Although he said the confrontation was limited to words. After being released, Murray announced plans to continue recording music independently. He released his fifth solo album, um, Rap Phobia, on July 31st, 2007. It debuted at number 52 on the US Billboard 200 chart. Lead single was Nobody Do It Better featuring Tyrese and Jr. Um, okay, so that's pretty much what this is. Um, yeah, I think that's about it for Keith Murray. Um, let's go to Mos Def. Okay, Yes and Bay, um, born Dante Terrell Smith, December 11th, 1973, was previously and more commonly known by his stage name Mos Def, is an American rapper, singer, songwriter, and actor. He began his hip hop career in 1994 alongside his siblings in the short lived rap group Urban Thermal Dynamics, after which they appeared on albums by the, the Bush Babies and De La Soul. He subsequently formed the duo Black Star alongside fellow Brooklyn based rapper Talib Kweli, and in 1998 they released their eponymous debut album featuring the singles Definition and Respiration. He was featured on the roster of Ruckus Records and in 1999 released his solo debut, Black on Both Sides. His debut was followed by The New Danger 2004, True Magic 2006, and The Ecstatic 2009. The editors of About.com listed him as the 14th greatest rapper on their greatest rappers of all time list. Some of his top hits include Oh No, Miss Fat Booty, and Mathematics. Okay. Prior to his career in music, Mos Def entered public life as a child actor with roles in television, film, sitcoms, and theater. Since the early 2000s, he has appeared in the films Something the Lord Made, Next Day Air, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, 16 Blocks, Be Kind Rewind, The Italian Job, The Woodsman, Bamboozled, and Brown Sugar, and in television series such as Dexter and House. He is also known as the host of Def Poetry Jam, which aired on HBO between 2002 and 2007. Mos Def has been vocal on several social and political causes, including police brutality, the idea of American exceptionalism, and the status of African Americans. Sheesh. Anyway, I'm not even going to get into his early life. Let's get into his music career. So, 1998, excuse me, 1994 to 1998, beginnings with Ruckus and Black Star. So Mos Def began his music career in 1994, forming the group UTD, which is Urban Thermodynamics, along with younger brother DCQ, not sure what that is, and high school friend Sess. In 2004, they released the album Manifest Destiny, their first and only release to date. The album features a compilation of previously unreleased and re-released tracks recorded during the original UTD run. In 1996, Mos Def emerged as a solo artist and worked with De La Soul and the Bush Babies before he released his own first single, Universal Magnetic, in 1997. Mos Def signed with Ruckus Records and formed the rap group Black Star with Talib Kweli. Um, the duo released an album, Mos Def and Talib Kweli are Black Star, in 1998. Mostly produced by High Tech, the album featured the singles Respiration and Definition, which both reached in the Billboard Hot R&B Hip Hop Songs chart. From 1999 to 2006, solo career and various projects, Mos Def released his solo debut album, Black on Both Sides, in October 1999, also through Ruckus. The single Miss Fat Booty charted while the album reached number 25 on the Billboard 200. Around this time, he also contributed to the Gritty Polity album, Anomi and Bon Homie. Not sure what that means, but in January 2002, Ruckus Records was taken over by Geffen Records, which released his second solo album, The New Danger, in October 2004. It included contributions by Shuggy Otis, Otis and Bernie Worrell, Doug Wimbish, and Will Calhoun as the Black Jack Johnson Band. Oh boy. The album reached number 5 on the Billboard 200, making it the most successful for the artist to date. The single Sex, Love, and Money charted and was nominated for a Grammy Award. Mos Def's final solo album for Geffen Records, titled True Magic, was released in 2006. Now, 2007 to 2011, Good Music Era and name change. On November 7th, 2007, Mos Def performed live in San Francisco at the Mezzanine venue. The performance was recorded for an upcoming live in concert DVD. During the event, he announced that he would be releasing a new album to be called The Aesthetic. He performed a number of new tracks in later shows. He previewed tracks produced by Madlib and was rumored to be going to Kanye West for new material. Producer and fellow Def poet, I'll Be Back. I'll Be Back. That's crazy. I'll Be Back. Revealed he would be producing on the album as well. The album was released on June 9th, 2009. Only Madlib's production made the cut, along with the tracks by Preservation, the Neptunes, Mr. Flash, Madlib's brother, Oh No, Jay Dilla, and Georgia and Muldrow. Hold on 1 second, folks. All right. Mos Def appears alongside Kanye West on the track Two World. No, excuse me, Two Words from the College Dropout album. The track Drunk and Hot Girls and the bonus track Good Night off West's third major album Graduation. In 2002, he released the 12 what is it? The 12 single Fine, which was featured in the Brown Sugar motion picture soundtrack. Mos Def also appears on the debut album from fellow New Yorkers Apollo Heights on a track called Concern. In October, he signed a deal with Downtown Records and appeared on a remix to the song Dance by Justice. He appeared on Stephen Marley's debut album Mind Control on the song Hey Baby. In 2009, he worked with Somali Canadian rapper K9 to produce the track America for K9's album Troubadour. In April 2008, he appeared on the title track for a new album by The Roots titled Rising Down. The new single Life in Marvelous Times was made officially available through iTunes on November 4th, 2008, and was also available for stream on the Roots website OK Player. In April 2009, Mos Def traveled to South Africa for the first time and performed with the Robert Glasper Experiment at the renowned Cape Town International Jazz Festival. He treated the South African audience with an encore and introduced by his own rendition of John Coltrane's "A Love Supreme," followed by a sneak preview by the track "MD Doctor." Mos Def has designed two pairs of limited edition Converse shoes. The shoes were released through Foot Locker stores on August 1st, 2009 in limited accounts. In late 2009, Mos Def created his own clothing line with the with UNDRCRWN. I guess it's what is it? Underground? Yeah, that's probably what it's called, but brand called the Mos Def Cut and Sew collection. The items were released in select US stores and most exclusively on the Underground website. 2009 also found Mos Def among the MCs aligning themselves with American entrepreneur Damien Dash's Double D 172 and collaborating with American blues rock band The Black Keys on the Black Rock album. A project headed by The Black Keys and Damon Dash. Oh shit. Mos Def appeared with Harlem bred rapper Jim Jones and the Black Keys on The Late Show with David Letterman to perform the Black Rock track Ain't Nothing Like You. In March 2010, Mos Def's song Quiet Dog Bite Hard was featured in Palm's Life Moves Fast, Don't Miss a Thing campaign. Mos Def features on the single Stylo from the third Gorillaz album, Plastic Beach, alongside soul legend Bobby Womack. He also appears on the track titled Sweepstakes. Yes, Sweepstakes. In September 2010, after appearing on Kanye West's Good Friday track Lord, 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 Mos Def confirmed he had signed with Good Music. Mos Def had been an active contributor to the recovery of the oil spill in the Gulf, performing concerts and raising money towards repairing its damages. In June 2010, he recorded a cover of the classic New Orleans song originally by Smokey Johnson. It Ain't My Fault with the Preservation Hall Jazz Band, Lenny Kravitz, and Trombone Shorty Oh man. In September 2011, Mos Def announced that he legally changed his name to Yasin Bey and would go by that name. Shortly after that announcement, he recorded as the narrator of the children's hip hop musical Patches Pajamas, a story written by Nature. Um, 2012 to the present, later career and retirement. Um, hold on. I'm surprised that Umi Says wasn't even included in the fucking RIAA conversation. That's crazy to me, man. Anywho, in January 2012, it was reported that Bay and Tyler Carly had begun to resurrect Black Star. In 2015, Bay was featured on ASAP Rocky's second studio album, At Long Last ASAP, on the track Back Home alongside um, Aside and the deceased ASAP Yams. Bay again revived his Mos Def moniker for two new songs in August 2015, titled Basquiat Ghostwriter and Sensei on the Block, respectively. On January 19th, Bay announced his retirement from both the music and film industries on Kanye West's website. I'm retiring from the music recording industry as it is currently assembled today, and also Hollywood effective immediately. I'm releasing my final album this year, and that's that. After announcing his retirement, he expressed gratitude to everyone who has supported him over the years and revealed his intention to enter the fashion industry and complete a handful of films. Bay also confirmed he still planned to release a collaborative project with Ferrari Shepherd called December 99th. In October 2016, a planned concert in London was canceled due to travel restrictions imposed on the artist. Other European dates suffered the same fate. On October 14th, Bay posted a video to Facebook where he announced that he was still planning to retire. I'm retiring for real this year, this week, with the 17th anniversary of Black on Both Sides being released. I am grateful to have had the career that I have been able to enjoy. He also announced one last concert, which he said he would be live streaming from Cape Town, South Africa. In November 2016, he was granted the ability to leave but not re enter South Africa and was put on South Africa's undesirable persons list. He said he would perform one show in Harlem and three in Washington, D.C. after leaving South Africa. He announced that December 99th, his final album would be released on December 9th. He released three singles from it, Local Time, Nah, and Seaside Panic Room. On December 5th, 2016, he announced the title of two albums, um, Negus and Natural Person, and As Promised. The latter of which is a collaboration with Southern hip hop producer Manny Fresh, initially titled um Oh My Fucking God. Oh man. His claims of retirement were seen as questionable as he played shows on September 13th, 2017 at the Fox Theater in Oakland as part of Black Star and performed on Gorilla's Humans World Tour performing Stylo with Kevin Everett, who filled in for Bobby Womack, who died in 2014. He also has yet to release or announce a release date for the last two albums of his career. In February 2018, Mos Def announced on stage a new Black Star Studio album produced by Madlib will be released in 2018. However, no specific release date was made available. Later on that year, Bay appeared on the titular track of Kids See Ghosts, the collaboration effort of Kanye West and Kid Cudi. In March 2019, he debuted his album um, um, at a listening session as part of Art Basel Hong Kong. In a press release, he said that the album will continue to unfold as a series of varied installations around the world. He has no plans of releasing the album digitally or physically. On June 28th, 2019, Babe appeared on Bandana, an album by Freddie Gibbs and Madlib alongside Black Thought on a track named Education. In November 2019, he stated that unreleased music, such as his collaborative album with Manny Fresh, was still on deck for release. In 2021, he launched the Midnight Miracle podcast on Luminary along with Dave Chappelle and Talib Kweli. In April 2022, a release date for the long-awaited Black Star Project was officially announced. The album, titled No Fair Time, was released via Luminary on May 3rd, 2022 of this year. Oh shit. Um yeah, he also has some stuff. Of course, he has some beginnings to um in the acting world. So let's get into his acting world. So prior to, let me see how much time we got here. Hold on. All right, so of course, prior to his acting, his career in music, Mos Def entered public life as a child actor, having played roles in television, movies, sitcoms, and theater, some of which were under the name Dante Bezzi. At the age of 14, he appeared in the TV movie God Bless the Child, um, starring Mayor Mint Winningham, which aired on on ABC in 1988. He played the oldest child in the 1990s family sitcom You Take the Kids. Shortly before it was canceled in 1995, he played the character Dante, Bill Cosby's psychic on the short-lived detective show The Cosby Mysteries. In 1996, he starred in a Visa check card commercial featuring Deion Sanders. He also had a small role alongside Michael Jackson in his short film and music video Ghost. Feature films, theater, and television. After brief appearances in Bamboozled and Monsters Ball, Mos Def played a rapper who is reluctant to sign with a major label in Brown Sugar. He was nominated for an Image Award and a Teen Choice Award. In 2001, he took a supporting role to Beyonce Knowles and Mekhi Phifer in the MTV movie Carmen, um, a hip opera as Lieutenant Miller, a crooked cop. Damn, damn. In 2002, he played the role of Booth in Susan Laurie Park's Top Dog Underdog, a Tony-nominated and Pulitzer-winning Broadway play. He and co-star Jeffrey Wright won a special award from the Outer Critics Circle Award for their joint performance. He played left ear in the 2003 film The Italian Job. That same year, he appeared in the Alicia Keys music video "You Don't Know My Name." In television, Mos Def has appeared on NYPD Blue, Comedy Central's Chappelle Show, and hosted the award-winning HBO spoken word show Def Poetry. He also appeared on the sitcom My Wife and Kids as the disabled friend of Michael Kyle, played by Damon Wayans. Mos Def won Best Actor Independent Movie at the 2005 Black Reel Awards for his portrayal of Detective Sergeant Lucas in The Woodsman. For his portrayal of Vivian Thomas in HBO's film Something the Lord Made. He was nominated for an Emmy and a Golden Globe and won the Image Award. He also played a band leader in HBO's um, Lock um, Lackawanna Blues. He then landed the role of Ford Prefect, Prefect in the 2005 movie adaptation, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. In 2006, Mos Def appeared in Dave Chappelle's Block Party alongside Black Star partner Talib Kweli. While also contributing to the film's soundtrack, he was also featured as the banjo player in the Pixie sketch from Chappelle's show, The Lost Episodes. Though his appearance was edited out of the DVD, he starred in the action film 16 Blocks alongside Bruce Willis and David Morse. He also landed a recurring guest on role on the Boondocks, starring as Gangstalicious. What kind of fucking name is that though? Oh shit. Um, he is set to be in Toussaint, a film about Haitian revolutionary Toussaint Louverture, along opposite Don Cheadle and Wesley Snipes. He made a cameo appearance as himself in the movie Talladega Nights: The Ballad of Ricky Bobby. In, in 2007, Mos Def narrated the PBS broadcast documentary Prince Among Slaves. Shit. In 2008, Mos Def starred in the Michael Gondry movie Be Kind Rewind, playing as a video rental store employee whose best friend is played by co-star Jack Black. He also played Chuck Berry in the film Cadillac Records, for which he was nominated for a Black Reel Award and an Image Award. In 2009, he appeared in the House episode titled Locked In as a patient suffering from locked in syndrome. Oh, damn. His performance was well received, with E saying that Mos Def delivers an Emmy worthy performance. Um, he was also in the 2009 film Next Day Air. In 2010, he appeared on the children's show Yo Gabba Gabba as Super Mr. Superhero. He also appeared in The Free Man of Color, John Guare's play at the Vivian Beaumont Theater. In 2011, he began a multi-episode appearance on the sixth season of Showtime television series Dexter. He played Brother Sam, an ex-convict who has supposedly found religion despite finding himself in violent situations. In January 2016, Mos Def announced his retirement from both the music and the film industry on Kanye West's website. In March 2016, it was announced that he had been attached to star in his last live action film, The Disconnected, a science fiction thriller dealing with policing, identity, and the intersection of technology and humanity. And I'm not gonna go into the political shit, man. I'm not gonna go into that. Okay, so so um going to legacy, about.com ranked him number 14 on their list of the top 50 MCs of our time, while the source ranked him number 23 on their list of the top 50 lyricists of all time. All Music called him one of the most promising rappers to emerge in the late 1990s, as well as one of hip hop's brightest hopes entering the 21st century. Mos Def has influenced numerous hip hop artists throughout his career, including Lupe Fiasco, J Electronica, Kid Cudi, and Saigon. Kendrick Lamar has also mentioned Mos Def as a very early inspiration and someone he listened to coming up as a young rapper, though he denied being a part of the conscious rap movement. He has also been cited as a direct influence by artists outside of hip hop, including English singer songwriters Adele and Amy Winehouse. And yeah, let's go to his accolades. All right, his accolades. So for 2005 through 2011. Okay, so So, Sex, Love, and Money. He got a nomination for Best Urban Alternative Performance. Of course, same with Ghetto Rock. Um, undeniable. Um, he Mos Def got a nomination for Best Rap Solo Performance, and Cassapp, The Aesthetic, um, Best Rap Album nomination, and Stylo with Gorillaz and Bobby Womack, 2011 Best Music Video, and of course, Black Movie Awards. Most Def got a nomination for Source Awards. Black Real Awards 2004 Civil Brand Best Actor Independent, got a nomination. The Italian Job Best Supporting Actor, got a nomination as well. Something the Lord Made Best Actor TV Movie Cable got a nomination. And he won for Best Indie Actor for The Woodsman. And of course, Cadillac Records, he got a nomination for Best Supporting Actor. And the Primetime Emmy Awards, Something the Lord Made 2004, um, got a nomination for Outstanding Leading Actor in a Miniseries or a Movie. Golden Globe Awards, Something the Lord Made got a nomination for Best Actor in Miniseries or Television Film. NAACP Image Awards year nominee. Of course, Brown Sugar got a nomination for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Motion Picture. Something the Lord Made got a nomination for Outstanding Actor in a television movie, miniseries, or dramatic special. And Cadillac Records got a nomination for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Motion Picture. Okay, so let's see. Let's see what's next here. Let me see here. So obviously, this past Friday, there's been some releases. Of course, Denisha Highways, um, Mickey Blanco's Mickey Blanco's Stay Close to Music, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Return of the Dream Catine, the 1975 Being Funny in a Foreign Language, Tove Low, Dirt Femme, and of course, October 21st, Arctic Monkeys, Dakar, Carly Rae Jepsen, The Loneliest Time, Megan Trainor, Taking It Back, Taylor Swift, Midnights, and of course, Tegan and Sarah Crybaby. And other new album news, of course, yeah, I didn't get a chance to get to all this. So let's so on this past Friday, Coogee Rap had an album called The Last of a Dying Breed. Little Baby, It's Only Me. Mavi, Laughing So Hard It Hurts. Raheem Supreme and Wi-Fi God. Young Sax Fifth. T Grizzly, Chapters of the Trenches. MIA, Mata. NBA Youngboy, who I don't really listen to. Rilla 2. Rockness Monster. Eat the Rocks. And of course, Jeezy and DJ Drama, Snowfall, also coming out October 21st. Bag or Die, um, Double B, Double B, Nos. Um, and for Tiger, that's going to be announced. Of course, Dram has an album coming out. What Happened Was. Jacquees, to be exact, not sure when that's coming out. So there you have it. That's your listings of all the hip hop, R&B artists and singers and rock bands that came out with a recent album. And now we're going to get into a little thing that I like to call, it's for all the gamers out there. It's for all the video gamers out there and friends that I know out there who is wondering what type of games to get as far as the gameplay and all the other stuff. That's what I'm here for, man. That's why I do this review. review the gameplay, the storyline, and all the other stuff. So there you have it right there. And here is the video game chamber segment right here. Let's do this. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. We got some upcoming games that's coming out and some gameplay that we have to review right here. And of course, this is of course tomorrow's the 18th. Let's start with the 18th of October. A Plague Tale Requiem for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, Switch, and PC comes out tomorrow on the 18th. And here's a little review that we're gonna actually get into. Of course, um, going into A Plague Tale Requiem, developer Asobo Studios follow up to 2019's A Plague Tale Innocence. I was prepared for the usual jump in quality and scale that most sequels embraced. I underestimated just how significant that leap would be, though. Calling Requiem a standard sequel is a disservice. Asobo has created a Plague Tale epic. It feels um um Odys- Odyssean in scope and storytelling prowess. Although much of it came together for me by the end of my 20 plus hour journey through medieval France. The game feels strained by its sheer size, especially in its first half. Still, I'm more impressed by Requiem's boldness and near across the board improvements than not. Requiem begins roughly 6 months after the events of Innocence, and while it is impossible to piece together that's happening if you are new to the series, I'd really recommend playing Innocence or at least getting caught up on its story before Requiem. Siblings Amicia and Hugo de Rune are looking for a semblance of an ordinary life. Despite Hugo's rat infested um, um, ma- macula condition. And for some time, the game demonstrates what hold on, the normality, excuse me, is like for Amicia, Hugo, and their mother. Still, as you might guess, the Macula plague begins to rear its ugly head once more, forcing Amicia back into protective mode. This shift sees Amicia, Hugo, and returning alchemist Lucas travel south to a mysterious island searching for answers and a cure. Okay, that shit sounds very scary, man. I was excited about this change in setting and all the new it brings to the series, but it takes far too long to reach it. At least half of this game is spent escaping your new home to reach a boat that sails to the island. Don't get me wrong, these 10 to 12 hours are good Plague Tale fun, but they re- resemble Innocence so much that at times it hardly felt like the fresh experience I expected from the sequel. It mostly dragged on, even though I was meeting characters that would become some of my favorites in the game, like battle hardened but soft hearted um, Arnaud or Pirate Queen Sophia. It didn't help that I experienced various technical issues like distracting frame rate drops, visual bugs, and one complete hard cache. Oh, excuse me, crash. Sorry. Upon reaching the island, though my thoughts changed entirely. The story ramps up in pace and excitement, introducing new allies and villains, a cult, intriguing lore, and a new mystery to wrap up my head around. Even mechanically, the IO represents a miniature open world to explore that's more sprawling than any other area in the series. The way the game's narrative pulls you here and there on this island is good fun. Whether you are solving the mystery of ancient underground ruins or fighting off secretive slavers awaiting the child of embers. By the end of my playtime, I felt like I intimately knew its layout. This part of the game impressed me the most because everything is firing on all cylinders. Ingenious puzzles that let you manipulate the rat's aversion to fire to make them stealthily take down enemies always satisfied me using a special projectile to extinguish an enemy's soul flame, allowing the rats to feast on their live body never grew old. The story's twists and turns kept me guessing as it did the island's central mystery. Requiem is visually stunning too, as Asobo has crafted an almost painterly um look for the game with unique and playful color palettes that complement the medieval setting excellently. I recall a moment when it seemed like everything is everything is around the D runes was crashing down atop den. And Requiem represented that visually with a unique, almost grayscale palette that heightened the enclosing metaphorical darkness. In other moments, I found myself stopping to tinker with photo mode to capture the colorful beauty of blooming flowers on the coast of this scenic island. Requiem really is a treat for the eyes. Elsewhere, Crash Bandicoot like sequences that see Amicia fleeing from massive hordes of rats toward the screen or sprinting in the opposite direction to safety were especially welcome breaks from the game's otherwise quieter but stressful stealth moments. These um, segments speak to the more bombastic nature of Requiem, which at times goes to places I could outright spoil here. And I don't think you believe me anyway. Again, I want to stress how epic Requiem scales and size are. It's bigger than Innocence in every way. Even beyond the story, new additions to Amicia and Hugo's arsenal, like a one-hit kill crossbow, or Hugo's ability to control rats and feast on the enemies around you, up the ante of the moment-to-moment gameplay. Still, despite what I enjoyed upon reaching the island, I can't help but feel that Asobo could have cut a large portion of this game. This not to say the sections I want trimmed are bad. They are good due to a tale's quality gameplay and storytelling, but they feel more like unnecessary padding that hinders Requiem's pacing. I was relieved when Requiem's second set of credits rolled, not because I didn't enjoy playing the game, um, but because the D Rune's journey in this game is tense and stressful for much of it. At times, it feels too long and oddly sadistic in its focus on inflicting fake outs, pain, and suffering on the D Runes. Other times, I admire Asobo's of this series. Its rat infested stealth mechanics and its grandiose storytelling. Fortunately, the latter edges out the former, and Requiem feels like much more than just a follow up. With this journey behind me, I'm excited about where the series might go from here. But if Asobo plans a break for the franchise, rest assured that Requiem goes out with an impressive bang. All right, so let's see. Yeah, so there you have it with that. That's basically it. So on Wednesday, October 19th, Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Collection comes out for PC. Um, also, on October 20th, Batora Lost Haven on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC on Wednesday. Wait, hold on. It's Thursday. Sorry. Yeah, Thursday. Also coming out on Thursday, October 20th, Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope for Nintendo Switch. And also coming out the same day is Second Extinction, Xbox Series and Xbox One and PC. And also coming out on October 20th, along with the Jackbox Party Pack 9, the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC, iOS, and Android. Um, Also coming out on the 20th, Vampire Survivors. We hit for PC, Gotham Knights, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC for Friday, October 21st. Also coming out on the 21st is New Tales from the Borderlands. Um, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. And Persona 5 Royale. PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, Xbox One, Switch, PC. Okay, let's take a look at that. I'm gonna stop right there actually when I read the review. So okay, so here it is. When it launched in 2017, Persona 5 represented the next evolution of the Persona formula. Persona 5 Royal amplifies the stellar turn based combat and masterful social mechanics, as well as um, the complex systems surrounding them. But it also adds new characters, story arcs, and a meaty post game. Oh shit! Oh man, meaty post game palace that ventures even deeper into the world's lore to deliver the definitive way to experience Persona 5. The gameplay loop of the original remains intact. You hunt for a corrupted individual, infiltrate dungeons based on their personalities, and battle through tons of enemies, all while going to school and developing relationships with various confidants. Connecting with people from all walks of life, learning their stories, and strengthening your bonds remains rewarding from both a character development standpoint and in the way these relationships give you useful perks. If you haven't played Persona 5 before, this is the perfect way to start. Even if you did play the original release, Royal gives you plenty of reasons to return. In return, no, excuse me, in addition to restructuring the way that you level up your relationship with Akechi, leading to more meaningful interactions with this important character. Royal asks Kasumi and Moroku, two all new confidants. While I like the stories of both characters, um, I especially love the bonuses they give along the way. Kasumi increases your HP and gives you an awesome dodge ability for when a shadow is about to ambush you. Um, Maruki raises Joker's maximum SP, which comes in handy during lengthy palace infiltrations. Kasumi and Maruki offer humorous and heartfelt interactions, and while Kasumi eventually joins your party as a full-fledged phantom thief, that doesn't happen until the new post-game palace. While I'm disappointed she isn't in your party for the vast majority of the game, her constant presence in the story means you are already familiar with her when the time comes. That new palace and its surrounding arc serve up an interesting look at the weird way the world works following the events of the original conclusion, and offers puzzles, dungeon elements, and is unique from the other palaces in the game. I was initially worried that the addition of a new final boss battle would take away from what made the original finale special, but without spoiling it, this new end boss delivers a climatic and cinematic end cap to your journey as the Phantom Thieves. Okay, so in the 100 hours leading up to that post game content, I love revisiting the original palaces with their minor additions. Joker now has access to a grappling hook, which lets him swing to new points in palaces to find hidden treasure chests or the new collectible will seeds. Each palace's three will seeds are often hidden behind grappling sequences, puzzles, or difficult battles. But if you um collect all three and bring the resulting item to a new character, Jose, in Mementos, you earn valuable accessories to equip to your characters. While they all give you powerful perks or moves, my favorite was one that buffed an Alley's next magic attack to an extreme degree. I can't tell you how many times that move helped me turn the tide of battle. As you progress through the story, you also accumulate Showtime moves, team up attacks that play out through funny, over the top cutscenes that also have the capacity to get you out of hot water if you are in trouble in a palace. In a palace, excuse me. Um, Revisiting the memorable, excuse me, battles against palace rulers is made even more fun as they now have additional forms that play off the themes of their sins. Since the palaces are based on the cognitions of the palace rulers, I love seeing how they incorporated the boss's transgressions and twisted views in unique ways. While each of these forms add something exciting or compelling to the way the battles play out. One boss battle operates on a time limit, and Royal's version adds additional dialogue and a new form without adding time to the clock, leading to frustration. Regardless of what one misfired, thanks to these additions, the Palace boss battles are overall better than those in the original game. With so many ambitions and improvements, Persona 5 Royal is an improved version of what was already one of the best RPGs of the last decade. Whether you've been itching to enjoy the Phantom Thieves journey again or looking to experience it for the first time, Royal wears its crown well. And of course, the concept is to get the Phantom Thieves back together for this director's cut of Persona 5, which includes new characters, gameplay mechanics, and areas. The graphics contains individuals haven't changed from the initial release, but even 3 years later, Persona 5 still oozes style and visual flair. Sound. One of the best soundtracks of the generation is supplemented by new tracks but that diversify and strengthen the musical offerings. The new voice actors slide seamlessly into place with the excellent with the already excellent cast from the original game. Playability with complex social systems and superb turn-based combat already present. Royal adds gameplay enhancements, great and small. And for entertainment, while new characters and a new post-game palace are the biggest selling points, the tweaks and improvements make this the best way to experience one of the best RPGs in recent memory, and the replay is moderately high. Okay, so there you have it right there. Um, yeah, yeah, I'm gonna stop right there. Actually, I'll do the whatever game is coming up on the 25th through what is it through the 28th that either tomorrow or a future episode. Anyway, uh, let's see. I think I covered mostly everything. Um, okay, all right. All right. I think that's gonna do it for this episode. 188. Excuse me. It's episode 88. Sorry. Um, this is this has been a great and interesting episode. So I'd like to actually make sure that I actually cover where you can voluntarily make a charitable donation to my Cash App and of course sometimes you can also donate to Anchor, of course, Cash App is dollar sign G Money Stacks 555. That's dollar sign capital G lowercase MONEY, capital S lowercase TACKZ 555. Once again, it's not about breaking the bank. It's all about doing the best you can on whatever amount of money you are comfortable donating will be appreciated. And of course, we're gonna get into another thing that I'd like to call stream choices on the go. So this is probably going to be the last segment of the night. So here it is. Of course, you like what you heard in today's episode or any previous episodes whatsoever. Um, please feel free to show some love by following Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast on Instagram alongside with my sports show, Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast, and of course my number one show that's almost to its 200 episode off the Meat Rack Chains New York podcast. Um, it's also on Facebook and Instagram as well. I don't really be on Facebook as much, but I'm mostly on Instagram as well. So you know what I'm saying, I'll try to do some updates on the one on Facebook as well as the one on Instagram as well. So there you go right there. And of course you can follow me on the gram, which is G Money Stacks 555 in Queens, New York. Don't forget to turn your notifications on when each episode is going to be dropping. As I previously said before, it's Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays you're going to be having the episodes. I've been shuffling the recording schedule because of every unexpected things coming in my life. So you know what I'm saying? So I'm actually trying to get back in my rhythm so I don't go cold turkey on you folks out there that's listening and watching on YouTube. So without further ado, man, I'd like to actually make sure that if you go to the link in bio where it says Linktree/Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast, you're gonna see a whole list of audio streaming platforms, and of course where you can actually leave a voice message on anchor.fm/Meticulous Vibe Juice Pod. And for the most part, for the most part. Speaking of Anchor, that's what we're going to start with. So here we go. We are on Anchor, Audible, Audacity, Amazon Music, Breaker, Castbox, FM, Deezer, Listen Notes, um, Moon FM Podcast, Player FM, Pocket Cast, Podfriend, Podopolo, Podorama, Podcast Index, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Podverse, Reason FM, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, Google Podcasts, and of course you can give a 5-star rating to Podchaser alongside with Podfriend, and of course if you were to see um a 5-star rating on either Apple Podcasts or iTunes, whatever it is. I don't even know how to work that area, but also you can give a 5-star rating on Spotify as well. If you don't have Apple Podcasts where you can listen to this podcast right here and along with my other podcast shows, don't worry. That's what Spotify is here for. All right. So 5-star rating on Spotify will be appreciated. And you can also listen to the episodes of Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast review show on Radio Public alongside with iHeartRadio, the number one app for music, radio, and podcasts. And of course, make sure you follow my sports show, Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast. And of course, my number one show that is almost to its 200 episodes, Off the Meat Rat Chains New York podcast, as well on iHeartRadio. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow. Rate, and last but not least, the YouTube. Make sure you grab that subscribe button on the YouTube channel page, Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast. Um, Click on the noti bell so you can be reminded when the show goes in the air via live stream, more via content, upcoming episodes, previous episodes. Leave a like and a comment along with the episodes. And of course, be sure to listen, stream, watch, and catch up on these episodes on the YouTube channel. And of course, along with audio streaming platforms, be sure to tell a friend to another friend and, and spread the word. Word of mouth is important. Make sure you share the podcast along with the link that says Linktree / Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast. All right, with your wives, your husbands, your boyfriends, your girlfriends, friends, and the people you are cool with from work and wherever else you met these people. Make sure you spread the word, spread the love on there as well. All right, so that's gonna do it for me. I'm G Money Stacks. Thank you very much for rocking and hanging out with me on episode 88, entitled to more classic musics and of course video games as well. Um and of course remember the grind doesn't stop. Hard work pays off if you want to earn something. And of course, New York wasn't built in a day. And you want to make sure that you follow your goals and dreams and find something that makes you happy mentally, physically, and spiritually. And of course, don't let anyone stop you, not your parents, not anybody who's gonna give you like a negative vibe on what your career choice is. Of course, find your voice is important. Be comfortable with your voice and how it sounds. Even if it sounds weird, it don't matter. Don't let that stop you. Um, and of course, and of course, find something that clicks to you, that gets you into your zone, alongside with tunnel vision and being on your P's and Q's on your craft, whether it's radio personality, whether it's podcasting on your own shows and shit. Like I'm doing with 3 shows underneath of my belt. I do this to inspire and motivate people so they don't give up. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you see I see people with podcast shows and they end up giving up because they got other stuff that they got to do, which is understandable. But at the same token, you have to really know that you got to really finish where you started. You know what I'm saying? And there you have it right there, folks. So that's pretty much that's pretty much what it is right here. So um I'm out of here. I'm off this shit. Thank you very much for listening and hanging out with me. G Money Stacks clocking out. I am going to be out of here. I am going to be taking care of I am going to be taking care of some stuff. So without further ado, um I hope you enjoy and I hope you are able to take care of one another. Be safe out there. Peace and one love, and have a good night, folks.